Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 2022 new moon reading for you. That's October 25th, 2022, new moon reading. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Taurus, let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of during this new moon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. We have the Three of Cups. Okay, so our connections with people is going to be prominent during this time. And we know this also because we're entering into eclipse season. Eclipse season, and this eclipse especially, brings the heart. It's centered around the heart's transformation. It brings the heart into focus. We're in Scorpio. We have a Scorpio new moon. We have the sun in Scorpio. And with the Three of Cups, we will have the people that we absolutely adore, that we absolutely love, being in focus in our lives. But we will also have the people who we've never been able to please, who don't like us and we don't know why. They will also be prominent in our lives. We will be thinking about them. We'll have something happen and they'll show up, or there's just going to be something here where that negativity is going to come into our sphere of being. Now, this time is all about transformation. It's all about what have we been putting off that we need to kind of call into focus and say, you know what, I'm centering myself and I'm moving forward in the way that I need to, soul, spirit, and self. So here, just be very mindful because these people can knock us off our path, off what we really desire, what we're looking for, what we want during this time of transformation, but also during this time of really seeing what we love and what we desire. They can hijack that and say, well, you're supposed to love and desire what I love and desire. This is what I want. So you obviously have to want the same exact thing. And it's going to be very frustrating for us. So just be very aware that this negativity, excuse me, will come in, and it can come in a very subtle way. It can come in through a phone call, through a letter, through, just bumping into somebody. It can change the course of our day. It can change the course of, from new moon to new moon, from new moon to full moon. It can change the course, if we let it, of what is being illuminated in our lives. Sorry. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Perfect. So let's see what shows up. We have here the Knight of Cups. We then have the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So there's prosperity coming in. We're going to find that we're led by our hearts. Now we also have strong water sign energy coming in. This is Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. All right. The new moon is in Scorpio. The sun is in Scorpio. The sun and Venus are right next to each other, meaning that our heart is led quite powerfully. We're ruled by Venus. Okay, Taurus. So our heart is speaking to us a mile a minute. There is just such a sense here that your heart is talking to you, that your emotions are at the forefront of everything. Even if you think, oh, I'm being astoundingly logical, you will look back at it and be like, wow, I made that split-second decision after doing all that research out of my gut, like out of what my heart was telling me, out of where I really desired being and what I love. There's going to be something beautiful that leads you. And that you're going to have to keep your eyes open for, Taurus, because there's going to be something where it could be a picture of a flower. It could be, oh my gosh, those were the words in a song or in a poem that I really love. And it's going to lead you forward in a way that you hadn't expected it. It's going to be something rather random, but it's going to be something rather beautiful. And you're going to find that beauty, I see you like, it's like a little kid jumping stones, like to get across the river, right? There's not really always a rhyme or reason what stone you pick, but there's going to be a sense of it follows a pattern for you. There's a path that you're taking that others might not be able to see. So just be very aware of that, because it is going to be very, very beautiful for you. You can also have somebody in your life very emotionally driven, could be a water sign energy, right? But it's going to be somebody who's emotionally driven, who's going to say, well, what about this? What about this path? What about this idea? What about this? And there is a sense here that you're opening to so much more than what you had realized. There is, sorry, I have a frog in my throat, so let me just take a sip of water. All right. There's also a sense that I'm moving towards what I have longed to move to for a very long time. It's kind of like I'm connecting again with what I love and where I want to be and what I desire. You're moving slowly, okay? Now, Taurus, you like to move slow. The Knight of Pentacles moves the slowest of all the knights. You like moving slowly, methodically. This is going to be slow and methodical, but it's going to be a little bit faster than maybe you're comfortable with at times. But there's going to be such a call of the heart to move you to where you need to be, to have you listen to what you love and what you desire and what you've been looking for in your life, that you can't ignore it, all right? Or it's going to be very difficult to ignore. There's something with your heart that's moving you forward, okay? You could have had something happen with your heart, and now you're looking at things very differently because now you're much more aware of what you love and what you need and where you need to be and what's important to you and what just isn't anymore. When it comes to a person, okay, and I don't see this coming through very, very strongly, somebody else coming in, but I do see this time period being a time period for you, the Scorpio time period, October 23rd to November 21st. You're going to find that a big decision is made. I see it like the sky is fishing. And when I see that, there is a sense of I'm being moved in a direction that I hadn't anticipated being moved into. Now, it can be that somebody who's very emotional, very driven, very focused is moving you in that way. They could be saying like, oh, look at this, and oh, look at that. But there is a real sense here that I am being moved by the heavens towards where I need to be for me. So really just pay attention, listen to the signs that are coming to you, look at things, but look at them emotionally. You're going to want to logic everything out, Taurus, because that's who you are. You're a grounded, stable earth sign energy, but you're going to find that you can't logic everything out. This is a time where the littlest things are going to move you. The littlest things are going to be just full of surprises. It's kind of like the littlest scorpion holds the most venom. The biggest ones you don't have to be as worried about. So here, I just see it as the littlest things during this time of Scorpio, represented by the scorpion, are going to hold the most powerful, it's not venom, but the most powerful potency to move forward. The most powerful, it's almost like potions. It's like insights, ideas, magic to move you to where you need to be. And I see you releasing poison that has been put into you before. And it's releasing a lot of what you don't need in your life. This is a purging time. This is a time where you're connecting with where you really want to be, what you really love, what you really desire. The Two of Pentacles comes into play. You have a lot that you're balancing, a lot that you're looking at. And here, I love it with the, Halloween pumpkins and being filled with candy. Two avenues of your life are being filled up, all right? And you're doing an absolutely magnificent job. That's not to be questioned. But you have to remember to balance yourself and balance what you're intaking, okay? So it can be balanced around food. If you sit down after trick-or-treating as a little kid and you ate all your candy from your Halloween basket, you just feel terrible, right? So it's saying here, be very mindful of what you're consuming. Be very mindful of why you're consuming it. There's also a sense here of being very balanced within yourself. You're trying to juggle a lot. And it doesn't always mean that it's balanced. One is going to take your attention, and then the other is going to come in, and things are going to be pushing you in different directions, like saying, oh, focus on this, and then, oh, focus on that. You're going to be giving 100% of your focus to each thing that comes in your sphere. But you have two things that are coming up very, very intensely. You can't give 100% of your focus to each thing. You're going to have to say, okay, I can give this, and then I can give that. I balance this, and then I balance that. But you also have to remember to balance your own stress levels. To listen, if you have one of those smartwatches, right? Listen to your stress levels. Listen to resting, to decompressing, to releasing, to fun, to joy, and not just fun where you can drink or smoke or do something, that helps you to unwind or escape. Doing and embracing yourself, okay? And doing things that have you completely aware and completely in the moment, that is helping you to release your stress and helping you to stand firmly within your own being. That's going to be so important for you that it's going to help change the way that you move forward. It's going to help change the way that you see things. And then you're going to find that balancing isn't as intense. You're going to find that you give a little bit of your attention here, a little bit there. You balance this, and then you balance that. You see, you grow, you understand. But it's going to be more in harmony. But there's going to be an intensity to you during this time. It's like it has to be all this, it has to be all that. That just needs to be honed out. It needs to be balanced. It needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. It needs to be understood. Now it moves you to the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is, you have the Knight and you have the Page of Cups. So you have this being a student of your heart. You have this sense of, I'm listening to my intuition. I'm listening to what I love. I'm listening to what I desire. Put music on while you're cooking dinner, or while you're, vacuuming, or while you're just, sitting on the couch doing nothing. Put music on that you love. Put a TV show on that you love. But I see it more as music. I see it more as like vibrational energy that you need. Get a singing bowl. Let that singing bowl's energy, sing with you. Let yourself connect. Let yourself see. Let yourself love and understand. Because you're going to find that you're a student of the moment. You're a student of the wavelengths. You're a student of what you really want and where you really want to be and what you're looking for. There's so much that you're learning during this time about what you desire from yourself and from your life. There's so much that you're letting in that it becomes a game changer. And you're going to find that as you're opening the door to where you want to be, to what you want to be, you're going to find that you're also opening the door to a lot of things that we kind of have given up on, or said, that's a great dream that I had once upon a time, but it's time to move away from once upon a times. It's time to move into, what I really want and who I really am and what needs to be done as a practical, sensible individual. You're going to find that during this time, as your heart is just taking over the scene, that you're asking yourself questions, you're pushing the envelopes, you're looking at things and remembering dreams that you have. You can have a child, again, water sign energy child, or just a child who loves, who laughs, who is just absolutely, enchanting, that shows you that beauty, that shows you that connection, that shows you that glory again. And that's going to be something that's just wonderful for you. You can also find this time period, because we're entering into Scorpio, right? Scorpio time period begins on October 23rd. So we have on the 25th, we have the new moon, we have the solar eclipse happening. There is so much energy that comes at the beginning of the Scorpio period that we're also learning a heck of a lot. And we're learning how we want to travel, where it is that we want to be, what it is that we desire, what we want from our lives, and how to let the heart talk to us and listen to it, how to let ourselves connect, because it's leading us to the Ten of Pentacles. For some of us, this is simply financial security. I don't mean simply like, you can write that off, it's not a big thing. No, it's a tremendous thing. You can see yourself getting a promotion during this time. You can see, plans that you have had that you thought, oh, that's a pipe dream, or nothing's going to come of that for a while. Now it pays off. Now it moves forward. Now you're like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for so long for this, and now the ball is rolling. You're going to, it's exciting. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, now that inheritance is coming in, or now, I get that recipe that I've always been wanting. It's money or something you value as much as money. You could be, reconnecting with ancestor energy. You could be reconnecting with your, ancestors. You can be not just their energy, but you can find a diary or, be looking through old photos. You can be looking at things in such a way that it brings you to community. It brings you to like-minded people. It brings you to a wealth and a prosperity and an abundance that you didn't know your soul was craving. You didn't know you needed. And the 10 of Pentacles is like, I'm here now. I'm here now. It's opened. I'm here now. It's okay. It's wealth that gets passed down from generation to generation, because you're also opening your heart and connecting with your inner child, which I know everybody says connect with your inner child, and it's so hard to do. And sometimes people say it so often that it doesn't have the same meaning that it should. But we can find ourselves releasing generational curses. We can find ourselves embracing generational blessings. We can be looking at our lives so differently, because we tend to look at generational curses and see things that have been passed down that are negative. But we can also be seeing things that have been passed down that are astoundingly positive. You also, Taurus, you have your loved ones, okay, right there with you. Right there with you. If you're saying, you'll find yourself saying something like, oh my gosh, that's something my grandpa would do, or my father would do, or my grandma, my mother, or I don't know why I feel drawn to this, or, there's just going to be something where somebody tells you like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what, your grandfather would do, or that's exactly what your uncle did. Somebody who has passed, or somebody who's not in your life, and you're going to be connecting with them. And that's going to be something where it's like you have to roll with that energy. You have to kind of keep that energy going. It doesn't mean that you have to reach out to that person if you don't feel drawn to, okay? But just kind of know that that energy sphere is around you and that it really is blessing you. And that's going to be a very powerful thing, okay? I do see you embracing more of who you truly are and what you truly want than you have in a really long time. And that's going to be a game changer. Now let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, goodness. Okay. The end of a tough cycle approaches. That's what this has all been about. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Okay. So we have full moon energy coming through, right? And we're working with a new moon. We set our intentions, right? And the full moon is that spotlight. So we're going to see here, as we're finding that balance, that we're going to be setting our intentions now. And we're really going to be seeing by the new moon, by the next full moon, we're going to be seeing, did those intentions come through? I think it's, what do I want to say? November 8th. That could be completely wrong. But there's something here where, like, I'm going to see how those intentions came forward. I'm going to see where it is that I need to be now. Hey, there's that spotlight coming. Now, we do have the end of a tough cycle approaches as we embrace the Knight of Cups. There can also be that energy, okay? If you have a loved one who has passed on, okay, who is Scorpio energy, oh my gosh, are they so intertwined with you? Like, that's not even funny. Scorpio, Capricorn energy, you could have a loved one who's passed on. Scorpio, Capricorn, they could be two separate people. They could have their, sun or their moon in either one, or their ascendant. There is such a sense of somebody's literally telling you the end of the tough cycle approaches, okay? And I see that as a very down-to-earth, very practical figure. I see it, I'm just hearing the song, I'm going out with my boots on. Like, that's who they were. They were a sense of, they were a person who was like, I'm doing it on my terms. I'm living my life the way I need to live my life. I'm taking responsibility for the things I need to take responsibility for. And, I go out with my boots on. That's just how this person is coming through, like, so powerfully. And they're saying to you, you've been through heck, okay? Because a lot of you Taurians, you have been through the ringer, okay? And they're saying the end of the tough cycle is approaching. Be led by your heart. Be led by what you love. Like, you've put that aside, and you've put that aside for so long that now it's time to connect. And now it's time to say, okay, I'm being led by my heart. I'm being led by what I love. I'm letting myself love. For some of us, we're saying, I'm letting myself love. And I'm opening my heart to what I really love and desire. There's power here. There's power in us once we are balanced and once we embrace that balance. once we see that balance within ourselves, once we find, where we want to be and where we need to be for us, once we're opening up that door, there's power to us. And for a lot of us Taurians, we've forgotten that power. We hadn't seen that power in a really long time, or we thought the power was force, but the power is this intuitive beauty. So often, Taurus, we forget our sensual nature. We forget our sensitivity. We can be so practical, we can be so driven, we can be so focused, and we take on so many responsibilities that we forget that we are sensual and beautiful and caring and compassionate and just spectacular. I mean, seriously, there's this energy of I need to embrace my own spectacularness that is absolutely coming through. It brings us to creation. When we embrace our inner child, when we embrace what we desire and want, when we embrace the transformation of this time period, we start to create. And we start to see things in such a new light, in such a new way, with such powerful intention and beauty and insight, that it really does change us. And it leads us to this connection with masculine energy that we can find a bit overwhelming. Okay? As we're embracing Venus, all right, as we're ruled by Venus, it's very feminine energy. There is this sense of I'm embracing the masculine within me. I'm embracing the power and the calculation and the determination and the insights and the ideas and the force of where I need to be. And the force doesn't mean I'm going to bend things to my will. The force is the force of the power within me. Because you can easily crush. It's kind of like holding a butterfly, and that's what I see. It's holding a butterfly. You don't want to hold the butterfly. You don't want to get your oils on their wings. You'll destroy it. There's a sense of I'm finding that power, because the power around me, the power within me, the power of me is so intense that it can crush the beautiful if I don't learn how to flow with it. It's like the ocean. The ocean can tidal wave and crush you. But everybody wants to live by the sea, But there's such a beauty, or at least I want to live by the sea. There's such a beauty to it. There's such a serenity to it. So, and yet there's such a chaos to it, a ferocity to it. The Ten of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. As we embrace that energy, and as we learn how to hone it, so that it doesn't destroy the fragile butterfly, so that it doesn't, keep us from being where it is that we want to be. Because the blessing is coming into us. And the question is, are you ready for it? Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Magician. Now, when a very positive card like the Magician comes forward, okay, what we're being told is, are we ready? We're being asked a question, are we ready to embrace our own magic, to embrace our own power, to see ourselves, to claim what it is that we want, need, desire, what we're passionate about? Are we ready for that? There can also be a sense of seeing the magic of the world around us and wanting to embrace other people's magic, but it's theirs. It's kind of like embracing other people's talents. Some people are fantastic artists, and we're like, oh, I want to be a fantastic artist, but I don't want to spend 8 hours drawing one picture. So is it going to happen? Is that our calling? Is that who we are? We need to see the magic that is us. And one of our challenges during this new moon is going to be to focus on that magic, to embrace that intensity, to call it in. The Luna message that comes forward is hold to your vision. And I love that. Hold to your vision, because you will bring it to fruition. The question is, will you walk away from it? The question is, will you hold to it? It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, and that is the Six of Wands. Success, prosperity, celebrating ourselves. Subconsciously, we want to celebrate who we are. Subconsciously, we want to call in that power. And yet, are we saying, don't be too proud? Self-praise stinks type of thing? Oh my gosh, you're so self-centered. Are we saying that to ourselves when we compliment us? Or are we letting ourselves embrace our triumphs and see ourselves as triumphant? All right. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all. and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus, and may you have a blessed moon.